Station 1370 WOCA.
Ocala. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control.
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. It's time for Damage Control with your host, Joe Reichel. And Joe has a guest today, JP from Penn Flooring. Good morning, Joe and JP. How you doing?
Wonderful, Larry. How you doing today?
Pretty good. Nice day. 75 degrees.
Beautiful day. Yeah, so I wanted to bring JP on the air with me. He was on the radio show with me before, but he was a call-in guest. So this time I wanted to bring him in the studios, and the reason why JP's here, all of the flooring here in this studio was taken care of by JP at Penn Flooring.
Amen. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the introduction.
Yeah. So Penn Flooring is a family business.
Yep, it sure is. My dad started it back in, I think it was 1988, something like that, before my time anyway, so...
1988. So, and how long have you been working there, JP?
Well, since I was about 15, I think. No, but full time now, about 5 years, going on 6 since college got finished up, I guess.
What is a question somebody would ask when buying flooring? I would imagine, in addition to looking good, they want to know how easy it is to maintain, right?
Well, I think the most important thing would be the cost. But
is that right? That's the first question.
Let's go down the first of all, what kind of flooring do you carry at Penn Flooring?
We carry a range of everything, pretty much, starting from carpet, which used to be and pretty much still is our bread and butter product, but carpet, tile, hardwood, laminate flooring, some new products, vinyl flooring, vinyl plank, some hybrid products now that they're coming out with.
Hybrid? What do you mean by hybrid?
Vinyl and wood look, sort of. They install like a laminate, just like laminate. They've got a waterproof core on them now, vinyl look on top. Looks just like wood, but installs like laminate.
Oh, wow. So, pretty much any type of flooring needs you could take care of there at Penn Flooring.
Pretty much, except for sanding and refinishing of your old existing nail-down hardwood floors. We don't do that, of course, but and also epoxy floors we don't do too much of. Not too much of a demand for that here in Ocala, but everything else we pretty much got it covered. Now,
epoxy flooring would be like a painted-on type?
Basically, yeah, it's what you see in really industrial type settings, and I guess it's becoming more popular in sort of the loft setting in some of the larger cities where they like the stained concrete with an epoxy layer on top. Just little something, I shouldn't say new, but up and coming.
Okay. So pretty much as far as standard, let's just say standard flooring, or what you would typically think of for flooring needs, you guys have them covered.
I'd like to think so.
What about, and this is something I had a homeowner asking me here recently, and I kind of know the answer to it, but like rugs, if someone wanted to do they've got let's just say a laminate or tile bedroom, and they wanted to do one of those rugs around the bed and the foot of the bed area. Mm-hmm. Do you guys do stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, actually. Something I missed. I do actually make custom rugs there also out of any of the carpet that we carry and order in also, but in addition to pre-made or prefabricated rugs, which come in standard sizes usually, and often hard to fit the size and dimension of a bed area that you're talking about now, or an odd room that you're trying to make the space work in. I can make custom rugs in any shape and size pretty much out of any carpet you pick in the store.
Wow.
That can be, it's about a 1 to 2 week turnaround usually, but something that you really can't find too many other places in town here.
Gotcha. Well, very good. What is, you mentioned cost. Is that some of that typically when someone comes in to look at flooring, they've got a budget in mind?
Most of the time they do. If they don't have a budget in mind, they're usually don't care too much about the cost. But, everybody's always pretty budget conscious there. And we try to work with you as much as we can and, push you in the direction of what's going to be the happy medium for your household with your traffic and the look that you're trying to achieve.
So a lot of times what I tell people, my job is to, and what we do is to figure out what your budget is and then what your wants are,
Yep.
and then point you in that direction so that you get what you want and what's going to be a good fit for you in the long
It
run.
is, and a lot of the time after you feel the customer out like that too, you can often point them in a different direction that they didn't consider at first, like some of these new products that are coming out that hit some different criteria there within a lower price point sometimes that, end up working better.
Right. I know on like a few of jobs like that we've had in the past, people want the wood look,
Yep.
but they don't have any clue as far as, they want the durability more of the tile. And I know you and I had talked about that as far as the plank, wood plank tiles.
Wood look tiles,
Wood
yep.
look tile, yeah.
Something it's been around for the last couple of years. I'd say going on more than 5 years now, but really in the last couple they've come out with incredible wood look tiles that have just really changed the whole market of that. They've even come up to 10 inches wide and 48 inches long now that look just
So
like real wood.
10 inches wide, almost a foot wide,
Yep.
and 4 foot long.
Some of them do. The standard sizes
Right.
are more like 6 by 24 inch, which are more budget friendly there and easier to install, of course. But some of those larger planks there, I mean, they will cost you, but they do look amazing.
Yeah. So pretty much if someone, and this is a call-in show, so if you have any questions for myself as far as a restoration project that you're working on or a remodel project or whatever, or questions, call in. Or if you have a flooring question, please call in. And JP, as the flooring guru, that's what we're calling him this morning, he's going to be able to answer any question you have. I promise.
We'll try.
If not, he'll set an appointment for you to come into the showroom, and he'll get the answer for you there. And that's why I wanted to lead into a lot of times as consumers, unless we do a pile of research and actually know what we're looking at, or we see it in someone else's home, and we say, hey, that's what I want. We don't really know everything that is available and the variety of colors or the selection that's out there. So, for you, I know we've talked about it. I can look at pictures all day long, but unless I'm actually have it in my hands, I don't know.
It is, yeah. I mean, the feel of a product is always going to change the game there. You may love the way something looks online there, and what you don't realize a lot too are a lot of the room scenes that are given by the manufacturers are often digital images, so they don't actually look exactly like that whenever you get them in your house and put them under your lights and your floors, and it just really changes whenever you can take an actual sample home, get a feel for it, put it in your home, see if that works for you. I always tell people to take it home, look at it in the morning under in that type of daylight there, and then in the evening also, so you can get a good feel for what it's going to look like.
Yeah, when the sun's out and the lights are the sunlight's shining in the room, it's different than it is when it's dark.
It is. It really changes it. Yep.
So if someone has, that would be that's a great thing that you just said. As far as someone coming in, they could take a variety of samples home with them and take it to your house, look at it with the paint that you have on the wall, and go from there.
And there's no limit to how many samples you can take. I always tell people not to take too many. You'll confuse yourself a little bit, but variety is not a bad thing always. But we try to keep you within three to five samples taken home at once, just because you start seeing all these colors and then you sort of lose the direction where you're going for.
Exactly. How neat. Larry, you're awfully quiet today.
Well, I'm listening. I'm enjoying what I'm hearing. I do have a question. Now,
Larry's never this quiet, JP.
Well, you've got a guest, and I'm listening.
He's still never this quiet.
So when you talked about epoxy floors that you don't do, is that what terrazzo is? I've always wondered what terrazzo is.
Terrazzo's not an epoxy floor. I'm not as well versed on terrazzo as I should be, but it's more. I would think of it more as like a concrete floor. It's a poured floor
Okay.
that's with the aggregate in there that makes it the terrazzo. It's not an epoxy floor
Okay,
like that.
okay.
A lot of the epoxies now do appear to be like terrazzo, has the same look as a terrazzo floor, but they're not terrazzo. Terrazzo is more of a substrate, to say. It's a subfloor.
And is that what, like, and I know terrazzo, I know this sounds weird, from Penn Station. I used to see it all the time, and somebody who was a floor guy that I knew
Yeah.
said, boy, this makes it easy to clean. And
And
I
it
never
does.
thought of that before.
Yeah, terrazzo is a very, very hard product. It's stronger than concrete in most cases.
Really?
It's whenever we have to install carpet over it, which is more often than you
Oh, really?
think.
People want to hide it.
Yeah, you do. It's in some older homes. That's what they had down.
Yeah, a
on
lot
the
of
floor
older
there.
homes
Yep.
used it.
And you've got to really drill your pilot holes to get any of the tack strips to stay in there because it is tough.
Oh, really?
Easy to clean, like they say, just because it's a nice, solid, smooth
Some of they
surface.
use in grocery stores?
Not quite.
No.
Usually in grocery stores, they've got either a VCT, which is a vinyl composition tile, squares.
Okay,
They have a wax protectant.
12 by
coating
12
on them.
squares.
Yep. Or a stained concrete or epoxy type flooring. Think in Publix and stuff.
okay,
They've got
okay.
the VCT squares in most of them. But like some of your Walmarts and such, I think they've switched to some epoxy floors in some areas and vinyl plank in some other areas like that in the clothing aisles, I think.
Is there an advantage maintenance-wise to use artificial wood as opposed to real wood? Is it easier to take care of something that looks like wood but isn't really?
Well, whenever you say artificial, if you mean like vinyl,
Yeah, like what you were describing
a vinyl
earlier.
product,
Yeah.
yep, it is easier to maintain because the cleanability is easier. You can use water on it. You can saturate the product and not have to worry about it warping, or
Okay.
cupping, anything
Where
like
wood would
that.
be ruined with
Correct,
water,
and,
yeah.
and it can take more harsh chemicals on it.
Right, and typically your vinyl tiles are more resilient to dropping something on it. They don't
Resistance,
Yeah,
and
they-
scratch resistance. Yep.
Yeah. So it's a tougher product.
So we have to take a little break.
Oh, break time already?
I know, and we'll be right back. If you have a question, by the way, for either Joe Reichel or for JP, this is a good time to call, 622-9622. If you call right now, you'll be on hold about 2 minutes, and we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. More clouds and sun today. There can be a passing shower or thunderstorm, but much of the day rain-free with a high of 82 to 86. And partly cloudy tonight with a low of 65 inland, near 70 along the coast. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high 84 to 88. And for Thursday, partly sunny, high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Howdy, folks. Did you know you can sell your mobile home today for fast cash? That's right. You can sell your mobile home today for fast cash. Just call 1-844-BUY-MY-MH today for a cash offer on your mobile home. That's 1-844-BUY-MY-MH today for a cash offer on your mobile home. You can also visit our Fancy Pants website at www.mobilehomecashout.com. That's www.mobilehomecashout.com. We buy ugly mobile homes and the purty ones.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
All right, 11 minutes before 11 o'clock, and let's return to damage control with Joe Reichel and JP from Penn Flooring. Again, the number is 352 if you're out of the area, and then 622-962 if you have a question or just want to make a comment. Joe?
So, we were talking about the different types of flooring that you guys have available, different samples. Let's just say I wanted, I had no clue. Just come into the showroom?
Yeah, I mean, let's say you had to remodel a bedroom. You want to freshen up your master bedroom or something like that. You've got some old stinky carpet in there, and you want to do something, spruce it up, either whether that means put hard surface flooring in there, tile or hardwood laminate, or just some new carpet.
Just come in and take a look, huh?
Yeah, well, we offer free estimates on that. Usually the best step that I always tell everyone to make is to come in the store first, feel out what kind of product you're looking for, take some samples home, and then we set up a free estimate that we come out, measure your space, and then on any of the, or couple products that you've narrowed it down to, we can give you a full price on that product installed.
Good deal. Let's take a phone call.
Yes, sir. You guys have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air. Thank you for waiting.
Yes. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I'd like to know what your take on is putting linoleum over tile or tiling over tile.
Tiling over tile or linoleum over tile. Well, I guess really the first question comes down to what kind of shape is your existing tile in? Is it cracked up?
Yeah, it seems to be. In fact, it's not really that old, but we just don't like it, and I want to avoid the big mess of picking it up.
Well, if as long as the tile is in good shape, and what I mean by that is no cracks in it, there's no loose spots, none of the tiles popping up, you can go over it with either of those products, but I don't recommend as much going over with linoleum as I do over with tile again, because linoleum's got to have a nice smooth surface to put it on top of, and that means you've got to take your existing tile, skim coat the whole surface to be nice and smooth, and then you lay that sheet vinyl flooring over the top of it. Whereas if you were going to put tile over that tile, you can put a priming agent, a primer, over the existing tile and then install the new tile right on top of that.
So that it bonds.
Correct.
The mastic or the thin set would bond to the existing tile.
Yep.
Here's my only concern, and if it's in good shape, like JP said, that's great. But once you add another layer of tile, you're at 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch thick that you're raising that floor up. So at any of your doorways, you're going to, have that, another...
A toe stubber, we call it.
Yes. You're gonna stub your toes at those spots unless you put a threshold, but still you got a transition area there, which is a different height. And then you've got the, if for example you have a dishwasher, if you're doing it in a kitchen area, which is where most of your tile is in a house or bathroom, even if it's the commode, you've got to, do a flange extension on that to raise the commode higher. You need to, your dishwasher, you might not have the clearance to put your dishwasher back in under the cabinets, the existing countertop. So there's a lot of things that come into play there whenever you just tile right back on top of something else.
Yeah. How about applying carpeting to tile? Is that feasible too?
It is. You're talking, of course, a bedroom or a living room. You can do that. It's got to be drilled into the ceramic, or I guess drilling isn't the only way. They can get some sort of adhesive to put those tack strips down that they along the border of your room. But usually, it does end up tearing up the tile a little bit, to where if you were ever to take the carpet up again, the tile might not be in.
You couldn't just keep it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
Excellent. Thanks for the call. So you mentioned free estimate. So okay, I have no clue. Let's just pretend homeowner wanting to fix their house. They have no clue. They go in, they take a look, they get these samples, they come back. They go home, they pick the samples out. You say, okay, I want this carpet in this room. I want tile in here. Someone's going to go out there and measure it all up for them?
Yes, sir. I do that myself, and also we've got another man at the office there that's been working with us for a little over 18 years now, I think, just as about as long as we've been open anyway, and he's very well qualified to that. We go out, we can take a measurement of the whole house, even if you don't plan on doing the whole house right now. We keep it on file for you, and that way we don't have to go out the second time. But yeah, it usually takes 15 to I shouldn't say 30 minutes. Sometimes if you've got a large house, it can take upwards of 45 minutes, but it's usually a pretty quick process, and then we come back at you with a quote. Okay.
So I would have, just some ideas of what rooms I wanted done, get some samples and say, hey, this is what I want. You come measure it, get me a quote, and then I know. So you guys also do the installation.
Correct.
as well, right?
Yep. Well, we don't offer any free installation like Lowe's or Home Depot does, but something that we combat every day there. But we offer free estimates. They charge $35 per estimate, I believe.
Oh, wow.
But that's why, estimates shouldn't cost you any money as long as you're not just taking our measurements and taking them to another store to get it shopped anyway.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right.
Very nice.
Is there a way to repair without getting a whole new carpet if you have an area that is either soiled or maybe somebody poured bleach on it or something?
Usually in stretched-in carpet like that, it's not feasible to do that unless you've got some existing carpet from your installation that you can repair that with.
Oh, okay.
Unless it's up against a wall where it can be cut out and re-stretched to the wall. Now, if you're talking like a space in the center of the room, it's not usually recommended to do that because you'd have to put what's called a plug in there, and then it just doesn't ever look the same.
It'd be hard to find an identical.
And two, you're talking about wear patterns in carpet, and then you're putting a new piece in, so it's always
notice it.
Yeah, and like an area like what we have the carpet in here. This is a glue down carpet here, so this is actually the carpet in here is glued directly to the concrete floor. That's a little different.
It is. That'd be something that would be possible as long as, again, if you've got the same material available. You don't want to be mixing lots, they say, and because just like all other fabrics, the shades vary by lot, and so if you take one made, the one that's in here made from a year and a half ago, and then you buy the same piece now, made 2 years later, it may be 5 or 6 shades of color off.
It's going to be close, but
so smart to buy extra.
That always is.
Whatever, extra pieces or something.
And typically, too, whenever you have a room done, depending on the size of your room, you have, different pieces, and you'll have a little extra left over. Anyway, wherever, like the closet area where you're cutting in, the closet, we have the extra pieces left over. So it's smart to save those because you
always
never
want to ask for extra material anytime you get any installation done, and that's not just flooring usually, but anytime, because usually those pieces, if they become discontinued, are worth a lot more than they were when you bought it.
Yeah.
The one thing that comes up, and there's probably no solution to this either other than getting new carpet, is when, how you move a couch and all of a sudden you realize, wow, look how good it used to look.
Yeah.
Right? I guess you're stuck with, if you...
Well, other than, it depends on how often you get it professionally steam cleaned, too. That's something that not a lot of people realize also, that you're supposed to get any wall-to-wall carpet steam cleaned every year to year and a half, depending on the manufacturer of the carpet, but that's what they recommend to keep your carpet fresh and wearing correctly, because without steam cleaning, you will get those very dirty spots around some of the areas that do take traffic, and then without getting it cleaned.
Flooring is just like everything else. You've got to maintain it.
That's it.
Yeah. Is it a do-it-yourself kind of a job, or do you, as far as the wall-to-wall, I mean, anybody can put a throw rug down, but...
Correct. Wall-to-wall carpet is not usually do-it-yourself. It's
hard to do.
It's not necessarily...
You guys were amazing. We watched you put this in.
And glue down's a little different beast than a wall-to-wall is. Wall-to-wall, you've got to have the proper tools. You've got to have
in order to stretch it.
Kicker, power stretcher, whatever it is that you're using there, and it takes a little technique.
And I think a lot of know-how was involved. We were watching you guys, and you guys knew...
Well, there's always tricks of the trade, and the installers that they use have been doing it for years, and I've installed some flooring, but I get out there with JP, and he's going to be able to teach me something that I don't do because I don't do it all the time.
Right.
And that's just how it is. So anyway, we're coming up to the end of the show. JP, if someone wanted to come into the showroom, give us the address and phone number.
Yeah.
And is it best that they come in and ask for you?
Not necessarily. I am there most of the time, but we've got 3 or 4 salespeople on the floor at all times, and they're more than qualified to answer all your questions. And if you want the WOCA discount, you just tell them that WOCA sent you, and I'll make sure to take care of it there. But we're located right at 1201 Southwest 17th Street. Just west of the 17th Street Bridge on 441 right there.
So if you know where Mojo's is downtown, it's between Mojo's,
That's it.
Mojo's and
441.
And 441. and real easy to find, big showroom. If you have any questions for me or you would like to get on our weekly blog, send me an email, joe@damageflorida.com, or call me directly, 352-817-6574, where we can be your restoration and construction source for any type of problem you might have.
All right, good show, Joe. Thank you again.
Thank you.
As always, JP, nice to see you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, JP, for being here today.
All right, we'll be right back.
Conflicting reports over the fate of some senior executives.
House Veterans Affairs Committee Chair Jeff Miller says no executives have been fired from the VA. One of them, John Goldman, recently retired from the VA facility in Dublin, Georgia. Shortly after his retirement, Miller says the VA tried to claim he was let go.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland.
Miller says